By this point, you should have a pretty good handle on bringing clips into your timeline and how to trim them and kind of get them where you want them to be. I want to step back and actually talk to you about how you can take more control over your timeline. The first thing I'm going to do is enlarge my timeline by hitting the tilde key and showing you some of the basics that you'll need to know. The primary thing is the plus and the minus keys to zoom in and zoom out. Now, if you're on a laptop, no problem. If you're on a computer with an extended keyboard, you're not using the plus and minus keys that are on the numerical keypad. You're using the ones that are above the letters. So you might also see, instead of plus and minus, it could be the equal sign and minus, but my eyes always go to the fact that there's a little plus symbol. Every time I hit the plus, I will zoom in. Every time I hit the minus, I will zoom out. And if you press the backslash key, that's directly under the delete key on a Macintosh, and it's called the backspace key on a Windows machine. Now, what that key will do, it will zoom your timeline in or out to show everything on the timeline all at once. It's great for getting your bearings, or sometimes if you've thrown a clip off to the end of the timeline to use later, you can find it because it might be about 45 minutes downstream and you don't even know that it's there. So I use these a lot, and I just want you to practice that, the plus and the minus. Additionally, you may want to change the height of the tracks. And this is actually very cool. If I want to see more detail, I can simply go over to either the audio or the video track, and using the scroll wheel on my mouse, simply make the track taller or shorter. Now, if I reduce its height enough, I don't see any of those details, such as waveforms and picture icons. Let me zoom in a little bit closer so you can really see what happens when I start stretching out the height with my scroll wheel. At first, I start seeing my audio waveforms. If I keep scrolling, you'll notice that over here in this section to the left, you can see some additional detail, such as the name of the track, which can be changed from audio 1 to, say, narrator or the person speaking, as well as additional controls for keyframing and controlling what audio tracks you see. On the video side, if I scroll up, I can see a poster frame of the first image in that clip. And that allows me to quickly know what shot is what without having to look at the name. But you'll also notice that when I scroll up, it does give me the name of the clip that I'm using. Now, if you hold down the Shift key when scrolling on the video, you'll notice that I can increase the height of all my video tracks at the same time. And of course, I can do the same thing with my audio tracks. So this is a very efficient way to be able to see more detail in your timeline. To navigate between clips, you can use the up and down arrow key on your keyboard, and the up key will jump you backwards to the previous edit, and the down key will jump you forwards to the following edits. If you want to go all the way to the beginning of your timeline, you can press the home button if you have a full keyboard, and if you're working on a laptop, just press the function key or the FN button and the left arrow, and that will take you home or to the beginning of your show. And to go to the end of your show, on a full keyboard, it's the N key, and on a laptop, it would be the function key and right arrow. Now let's press tilde and return to our traditional interface.